Do-hyun Kim liked living alone. After 10 years as a pilot for the Earth Alliance, fighting in 3 space battles and losing too many friends, he wanted peace. His small wooden house sat at the edge of the New Seoul colony, far from the busy city lights. Behind his home, tall trees stretched for miles, and in front, a clear lake reflected the stars at night. Tonight, those stars looked different. Do-hyun stood on his porch, a cup of tea in his hand, watching a bright light move across the sky. It was too fast for a star, too slow for a military ship. The light grew bigger, trailing fire behind it. "That's going to crash," he said to himself, putting down his cup. The light disappeared behind the trees. Seconds later, the ground shook, and birds flew from their nests in panic. A cloud of smoke rose above the treetops. Do-hyun didn't think twice. He grabbed his emergency bag, slipped on his boots, and started walking into the forest. Old habits from his military days took over. Someone might need help. It took him 30 minutes to find the crash site. The trees had been knocked down in a long line, and at the end sat a small ship, not much bigger than a car. It wasn't a human design. The metal had a blue shine, and the shape was round, like a seed. Steam rose from cracks in its hull. "Hello," Do-hyun called, approaching slowly. "Anyone alive in there?" A section of the ship slid open with a hiss. Do-hyun raised his light, ready to run if needed. Many aliens weren't friendly to humans, especially after the border war 5 years ago. No attack came. Instead, he heard a small sound, like crying. Do-hyun moved closer and looked inside the ship. Curled up against a broken control panel was a child. Not a human child. Her skin was light blue with tiny scales that shimmered in his light. Her eyes, when she looked up at him in fear, were solid silver with no pupils. Small ridges ran along her forehead and down her arms. She was bleeding from a cut on her leg, but her blood was dark purple. She was clearly Terry, one of the species that had fought against humans in the war. But this was just a child, maybe 10 years old in human terms. "It's okay," Do-hyun said softly, putting down his light. "I won't hurt you." The girl spoke in a language he didn't understand, her voice shaking. She tried to move away but cried out in pain. Do-hyun slowly took out a water bottle from his bag and offered it to her. "Water," he said, taking a small sip to show it was safe before holding it out. The girl hesitated, then took the bottle and drank. A loud noise made them both jump. In the distance, the lights of colonial security vehicles were moving through the trees. If they found her, they would take her away for study. Do-hyun had seen what happened to alien prisoners during the war. He couldn't let that happen to a child. "We need to go," he said, pointing to the lights, then making a catching motion with his hands. The girl's eyes widened in understanding and fear. Do-hyun held out his hand. "Come with me. I'll keep you safe." The girl looked at his hand, then at the approaching lights. Slowly, she reached out and took his hand. Her skin was cool and smooth. Carefully, Do-hyun lifted her from the ship. She was lighter than he expected. He grabbed a small bag that seemed to be hers, then headed away from the colonial security lights, carrying the alien child through the dark forest toward his home. Behind them, the ship made a low humming sound, then sparked and went silent forever. 20 years passed slowly for Do-hyun. His black hair turned gray at the sides, and lines formed around his eyes. After Minji left, he had worked for the Colonial Defense Force for 10 more years before coming back to his cabin. Now at 55, he still lived in the same place by the forest, though the New Seoul colony had grown much larger. Every night, Do-hyun would take out the blue light stone Minji had given him. It still glowed softly, never fading. Sometimes he wondered what had happened to the blue-skinned child he had saved. Had she found happiness with her people? Was she even still alive? The news was not good these days. Humans had built more colonies on far planets, but they had also made new enemies. The Orcs, the same aliens who had attacked Minji's world, were now hitting human outposts. 3 colonies had been destroyed in the past month. The Earth Alliance was sending ships to defend the others, but they were losing the fight. One evening, Do-Yun sat on his porch watching the sunset. His old dog Bordy slept at his feet. The blue stone sat on the small table beside him, glowing in the growing darkness. Suddenly, the stone began to pulse with bright light. Bori woke up and started barking at the sky. Do-Yun looked up and saw a strange light moving between the stars. At first, he thought it was a shooting star, but it moved too slowly, too evenly. His emergency radio crackled to life. Alert to all citizens. Unknown ship has entered Earth space. This is not a drill. Stay in your homes. Do-Yun stood up, his heart beating fast. The light in the sky grew larger. It was a ship, but not like any human ship he had seen. Its shape was smooth and round, with glowing blue lines across its surface. The ship stopped directly above New Seoul Colony. Smaller ships left the big one and flew down toward the city. Colonial defense ships rose to meet them, weapons ready. But one small ship broke away from the others. This one headed straight for Do-Yun's cabin. He watched, not running, not afraid, as the ship landed gently in the open space in front of his home. It was beautiful, with a blue metal surface that seemed to flow like water. The door opened with a soft sound, and light spilled out onto the ground. 6 tall figures walked out first. They had blue skin with silver markings, and they wore armor that shone in the evening light. They formed a line and stood at attention. Terry soldiers. Then a 7th figure stepped out, taller than the others, dressed in flowing silver and blue robes that caught the light. A woman with blue skin and delicate scale patterns. On her head sat a crown made of twisted blue metal with small glowing stones. She looked around until her eyes found Do-Yun standing on his porch. The woman smiled, and Do-Yun felt his breath catch. Even after 20 years, he knew those silver eyes. "Minji," he whispered. She walked toward him, her guard staying behind. "I am called Queen Taeha now," she said in perfect human language. "But yes, the child you once knew as Minji stands before you." Do-Yun could hardly believe his eyes. The small, scared alien girl he had hidden in his home had returned as a queen. "You came back," he said simply. "I promised I would," she replied. Her silver eyes looked at his cabin, then back to him. "Though I did not think it would take 20 years. Before Do-Yun could ask why she had returned, the sound of engines filled the air. 5 colonial defense ships appeared over the trees, weapons pointed at the Terry vessel. "Step away from the alien, citizen," a voice boomed from speakers. "This area is under military control." Queen Taeha did not look worried. She held up the same kind of blue stone she had given Do-Yun years ago. It glowed brightly, sending a beam of light into the sky. The light formed a large image above them, showing a young Minji and Do-Yun from 20 years ago, sitting together and looking at the stars. The colonial ships hesitated. "I am not your enemy," Queen Taeha called out to them. "I have come to warn you. The Orcs are coming, with a fleet larger than anything you have faced. They destroyed my world 20 years ago. Now they plan to destroy yours." She turned back to Do-Yun and held out her hand. "I need your help again, old friend. Not just to save me this time, but to save both our peoples." Do-Yun looked at her hand, then at the worried faces of the colonial soldiers watching from their ships. Without hesitation, he reached out and took her blue hand in his. "Tell me what you need," he said. Do-Yun led Queen Taeha into his small cabin while her guards waited outside. The colonial defense ships still hovered nearby, but they had not attacked. "I never thought I would see this place again," Taeha said, touching the wooden walls gently. Her blue fingers traced the old table where she had once learned human words. "It is smaller than I remembered." "And you are much taller," Do-Yun said with a smile. They sat across from each other. Do-Yun could hardly believe that this powerful woman was once the scared child he had found in a crashed ship. Her silver eyes still looked the same, but now they held wisdom and strength. "Tell me what happened after you left," Do-Yun said. Taiha's face grew serious. The ship that came for me took me to a hidden colony. Only 10,000 Terry survived the Vorex attack on our homeworld. We were scattered across many planets, hiding. She touched the crown on her head. My parents were important leaders. When we learned they had died, I was raised to take their place someday. I studied hard. I learned about all alien races, including humans. And now you are queen, Do-Yun said. Yes, 5 years ago, I became queen of the Terry Federation. We found a new homeworld far from the Vorex. We built cities. We grew strong again. Her voice filled with pride. But we knew the Vorex would find us eventually. A sound from outside made them both look up. Through the window, they could see that more colonial ships had arrived. Soldiers were spreading out around the cabin. They are afraid of you, Do-Yun said. Yes, just as your people should be afraid of what is coming. Taiha stood up and walked to the window. The Vorex have grown more powerful. They have destroyed 12 human outposts in the past year. I know, Do-Yun said. The news reports say our military cannot stop them. No one can stop them alone, Taiha said. She turned to face him. That is why I am here. The Terry have technology that humans do not. Our ships are faster. Our weapons can break through Vorex shields. You want to help us fight? Do-Yun was surprised. I want us to fight together, Taiha corrected him. A joint force of Terry and humans. It is the only way either of us will survive. Do-Yun understood now. That's why you came to me first. You needed someone who would listen. Taiha nodded. The human leaders do not trust aliens. They would shoot first and ask questions later. But you, she smiled. You once helped a scared alien child when others would have turned her in. I hope you would help again. A loud bang on the door made them both jump. A stern voice called out, "This is Colonel June of the Colonial Defense Force. The alien will come out now." Do-Yun moved to the door but did not open it. What will you do if they try to capture you? Taiha smiled sadly. My ship above has weapons that could destroy half this colony. But I will not use them. I did not come to start a war with humans. I came to prevent one with the Vorex. Wait here, Do-Yun said. He stepped outside to face the soldiers. Colonel June was a short man with angry eyes. 20 soldiers stood behind him, guns pointed at the cabin. Step aside, citizen, Colonel June ordered. That alien is coming with us for questioning. Her name is Queen Taiha of the Terry, Do-Yun said calmly. She is here to offer an alliance against the Vorex. The Terry were our enemies in the border war, Colonel June said. And now they want to be our friends against a worse enemy. Do-Yun stood tall. I have known her since she was a child. If she wanted to harm us, she could have done it long ago. The colonel looked uncertain. Before he could respond, the radio on his belt crackled to life. Colonel June, this is command. Do not engage the alien vessel. The Earth Alliance Council wants to speak with the Terry leader. Repeat, do not engage. The colonel looked angry, but lowered his weapon. This isn't over, he said to Do-Yun. To his men, he ordered. Stand down. Do-Yun went back inside. Taiha was waiting by the window. They want to speak with you, he told her. The Earth Alliance Council. Good, Taiha said. Will you come with me, Do-Yun Kim? I need someone the humans will trust to stand beside me. Do-Yun looked around his small cabin. For 20 years, he had lived a quiet life here. Now the universe was calling him back. Yes, he said. I will help you again. The Earth Alliance Council met in New Seoul's central tower. 12 men and women sat at a large round table. They watched as Do-Yun and Queen Taiha entered the room with 4 Terry guards. Welcome to Earth, Queen Taiha, said Chairwoman Park, an older woman with streaks of gray in her black hair. Her voice was polite, but her eyes were cold. We are surprised by your visit. Thank you for seeing me, Taiha said, bowing her head slightly. This is Do-Yun Kim, who once saved my life. He speaks for me today. Do-Yun felt nervous. He had never spoken to the council before. These people controlled all human space colonies. They did not look happy to see aliens in their meeting room. "Why have you come to Earth space without permission?" asked a man with a thick beard. "The Terry and humans have not been friends." Taha stepped forward. The light made her blue skin shine. "I come with warning and with help. The Vorix Empire grows stronger each day. They have destroyed many worlds, including my homeworld. Now they come for human colonies." "We can defend ourselves," said another council member. "No, you cannot," Taha said firmly. "You have lost 12 outposts this year. The Vorix grow closer to Earth every day." The council members looked surprised. This information was not public knowledge. "How do you know about our outposts?" Chairwoman Park asked. Taha touched a device on her wrist. A large map appeared in the air, showing stars and planets. Red dots blinked where human colonies had been attacked. "We have been watching the Vorix for 20 years, she explained. "Their pattern is always the same. They test your defenses with small attacks. Then, when they know your weaknesses, they'd bring their main fleet." She touched the map again. Now it showed a massive group of ships moving toward Earth. "This is the Vorix main fleet," she said. "It will reach your space in 2 months. When it does, your worlds will fall one by one." The room was silent. Fear showed on the council members' faces. "Why would you help us?" Chairwoman Park finally asked. "The Terry and humans fought in the border war." "That was a small war over a few planets," Taha said. "This is about survival. Neither humans nor Terry can defeat the Vorix alone. Together, we might have a chance." A thin man with glasses spoke up. "What exactly are you offering?" "An alliance," Taha said. "The Terry have technology you do not. Our shields can block Vorix weapons. Our ships are faster." "And what do you want in return?" the bearded man asked suspiciously. "Your ships, your soldiers, your courage," Taha replied. "We need numbers that the Terry do not have. We are few since our world was destroyed." The council members whispered to each other. Many looked doubtful. Chairwoman Park raised her hand for silence. "We will need time to discuss this. Please wait outside." Do-hyun and Taha left the room. In the hallway, Do-hyun saw that Taha looked worried. "They do not trust you," he said quietly. "I expected that," she replied. "Would you trust an alien who suddenly appeared with talk of doom?" After an hour, they were called back. The council looked grim. "We have concerns," Chairwoman Park said. "If we join our fleets, what stops the Terry from turning against us once the Vorix are defeated?" Taha's silver eyes flashed with anger. "My people know what it means to lose everything. We would not bring that pain to others." "Words are easy," said the bearded man. "We need proof." "Proof?" Taha seemed confused. "What proof can I give for something that has not happened?" Do-hyun stepped forward. 20 years ago, this woman was a child in danger. I could have turned her in. Many would have. But I chose to help because it was right." He looked at each council member. "Now she returns, not for revenge, but to help us. If humans and Terry cannot trust each other against a common enemy, then the Vorix have already won." Chairwoman Park studied Do-hyun carefully. "You believe in her." "With my life," Do-hyun said without hesitation. The council members whispered again. Finally, Chairwoman Park spoke. "We will need to see your fleet, your weapons, your technology. The council will send experts to study them before we make an alliance." "And if I agree to this?" Taha asked. "Then we might believe you," Chairwoman Park said. Taha nodded slowly. "I agree, with one condition. Do-hyun Kim comes with me to my ship while your experts visit, as my guest and my friend." The council looked surprised, but Chairwoman Park nodded. "Agreed." As they left the meeting, Do-hyun looked at Taha. "Why do you want me to come with you?" Taha's serious face softened into a smile. "Because there is much I want to show you, and because 20 years ago, You were the only human who trusted me. Now I need to show these humans why they should trust all Terry." She looked up at the sky where her ship waited. "The fate of both our peoples may depend on it." A small ship took Do-Yun and Queen Teha up to her royal vessel. As they rose through the clouds, Earth grew smaller below them. Do-Yun pressed his face to the window. In all his years as a pilot, he had never seen a view like this. "Beautiful, is it not?" Teha said, watching him. "Your world is very blue, like my skin." "I never thought I would go to space again," Do-Yun admitted. The royal ship grew larger as they approached. It was massive, at least 3 times the size of the largest human vessel. Its surface was smooth, with glowing blue lines running across it like rivers of light. When they docked, Terry guards met them and bowed to their queen. They looked at Do-Yun with curious silver eyes. "This way," Teha said, leading him through wide hallways. "I want to show you my home." The ship was like nothing Do-Yun had ever seen. The walls seemed alive, changing color slightly as they walked past. The floors were soft, absorbing the sound of their steps. Plants grew from special holders along the walls, their leaves moving gently in the air. "The ship is alive?" Do-Yun asked in wonder. "In a way," Teha explained. "It is made of living metal that repairs itself. Our technology works with nature, not against it." She took him to a large room with a clear dome roof. Above them, stars shone brightly without the filter of Earth's atmosphere. "This is my garden," Teha said. Beautiful plants with crystal-like leaves filled the room. "These are the last plants from my homeworld." Do-Yun touched one gently. Its leaves made a soft, musical sound. "You have kept them alive all these years," he said. "Just as you kept me alive," she replied softly. A tall Terry male entered the room and spoke quickly to Teha in their language. Her face became serious. "The human experts have arrived at our smaller vessel," she told Do-Yun. "I must speak with them. Would you like to see our command center first?" Do-Yun nodded. They walked to a large round room filled with Terry working at strange control panels. A huge map of the galaxy floated in the center, with small lights moving across it. "Each light is a ship," Teha explained. "The red ones are Orcs." Do-Yun saw hundreds of red lights gathered at one edge of the map, slowly moving toward a blue area labeled human space. "So many," he whispered. "Yes, and they grow stronger with each world they take." Teha touched the map, and it zoomed in on the Orcs fleet. "Their ships are not as advanced as ours, but they have numbers. They swarm their enemies like insects." Another Terry approached and whispered to the queen. Her face darkened. "What is wrong?" Do-Yun asked. "The human experts are being difficult. They demand to see our weapons systems. They want to know how our shields work." Teha looked troubled. "These are our greatest secrets. If I show them everything and the humans still refuse to ally with us, you fear they might use your technology against you someday." Do-Yun finished her thought. "Yes," Teha sighed. "I trust you, Do-Yun, but I cannot trust all humans yet." "Then do not show them everything," Do-Yun suggested. "Show them enough to prove you can help, but keep your greatest secrets until the alliance is certain." Teha smiled at him. Wise advice. A sudden alarm blared through the ship. The map in the center of the room flashed, and a new red light appeared near them. A Orcs scout ship, called out one of the Terry. It just appeared from jump space. "They must have followed our path to Earth," Teha said, her voice tight with worry. "Prepare defense systems." "Should we destroy it?" asked a Terry officer. "No," Teha said quickly. "If we attack, the humans might think we started a battle in their space. Move to intercept. Try to drive it away." The ship hummed as it moved. On the map, Do-Yun saw their blue light moving toward the red one. "You could destroy it easily," he observed. "Yes, but that is not why we came here." Teha touched his arm. "I want peace, Do-Yun. I have seen enough war." Suddenly, The ship shook violently. Do-hyun fell against the wall. "The Vorex ship is attacking," shouted a Terry officer. "It hit our lower deck." "Return fire," Taya ordered. "Defensive pattern only. Try not to destroy it." The ship shook again, harder this time. Sparks flew from one of the control panels. A Terry was thrown across the room. "My queen, we must fight back properly," urged the tall Terry who seemed to be her commander. "No, Kuro," Taya insisted. "We cannot risk." A third blast hit them. Part of the ceiling collapsed. A large piece of metal fell toward Queen Taya. Without thinking, Do-hyun leaped forward. He pushed Taya out of the way as the metal crashed down. Pain exploded in his leg as it caught him. "Do-hyun," Taya cried out. She knelt beside him as crew members lifted the metal away. "I am fine," he said through gritted teeth, though his leg was clearly broken. Taya's silver eyes hardened. She stood and faced the command map. "Enough. Target their engines only," she ordered. "End this." The ship hummed again, and on the screen, Do-hyun saw a blue beam shoot out toward the Vorex ship. The red light flickered, and then moved away quickly. "They are running," the commander reported. "Track them," Taya ordered. "Make sure they leave our space." She turned to Do-hyun. "We need to get you to our medical bay." As two Terry helped him up, Do-hyun looked at Taya. "You showed mercy to an enemy who attacked you first. The human experts should see that." Taya nodded slowly. "Perhaps this attack will help the humans understand the threat is real." As they moved through the hallway, Taya said quietly, "You saved me again today, Do-hyun Kim." "You saved me first," he replied, "when you came back to warn us about the Vorex." In the medical bay, as strange blue light healed his broken leg, Do-hyun watched Queen Taya speak with her commanders. She was no longer the small scared child he had found in the woods. She was a leader, strong and wise. And now, the fate of two species rested on her shoulders. The Terry medical technology worked like magic to Do-hyun. The blue light that had surrounded his broken leg had fixed the bone in just 1 hour. Now he could walk without pain. "How is this possible?" he asked the Terry doctor, a slender female with intricate patterns on her blue skin. "Our healing light repairs cells very fast," she explained simply. "Your human doctors cut and stitch. We help the body heal itself." Do-hyun was testing his leg when Queen Taya entered the medical bay. She had changed into a simpler outfit, more like armor than royal clothes. "We are going to Earth," she announced. "The Earth Alliance Council wants to meet with us again after the Vorex attack." "That is good news," Do-hyun said. Taya nodded. "The human experts were on our smaller ship when the Vorex attacked. They saw how we defended without destroying. It helped them trust us more. They boarded a small ship to travel back to Earth. Commander Kuro and 4 guards came with them. The council wants to see me in their main city," Taya explained as they flew through space. "We must convince them to join forces with us soon. The Vorex scout ship has surely reported back to their fleet by now." Do-hyun watched Earth grow larger through the window. "Why did you really come back after all these years?" he asked quietly. Taya was silent for a moment. "When I became queen, I learned that the Vorex were moving toward human space. I could have taken my people and hidden far away. Many of my advisors suggested this. Why didn't you?" "Because of you." Her silver eyes met his. "You showed me that humans can be kind, even to those who are different. You risked much to save me. I could not let your world face the Vorex alone, knowing what they did to my people." Before Do-hyun could respond, the ship shook violently. "We are under attack," shouted the pilot. 3 Vorex ships came out of nowhere. Taya rushed to the control panel. "How did they get past our sensors?" "They were hiding behind Earth's moon," the pilot said. "They waited for us." The ship rocked again as another blast hit them. "Shields at 60%, reported a guard. "We cannot outrun them in this small vessel." Taya took control of the ship. Her hands moved quickly over the panel. The ship turned sharply, diving toward Earth at high speed. "Can you reach any human ships?" she asked. "No response on any channel," the pilot said. "They may be jamming our signals." Another hit rocked the ship. Smoke filled the cabin. "Shields failing," warned the guard. "One more direct hit, and we are finished." Commander Kuro pulled out a small device. "My queen, use your emergency transport. Save yourself." "No," Taha said firmly. "I will not abandon my crew." Doyum moved to the weapons panel. He had not flown in combat for years, but old skills came back quickly. "Let me try something," he said. Taha nodded and moved aside. Doyun studied the controls, which were similar to old Earth fighters. He fired the ship's weapons not at the Vorex ships, but at the space between them, creating a cloud of energy that confused their sensors. "Now dive," he shouted. Taha pushed the ship downward, toward Earth's atmosphere. The Vorex ships followed but lost sight of them in the energy cloud. "Earth ships approaching," called the pilot. They must have seen the attack. But then another blast hit them. The control panel exploded, throwing the pilot across the cabin. Commander Kuro caught him, but the Terry was badly hurt. "We are losing power," Taha said, struggling with the controls. "We will crash." The ship entered Earth's atmosphere, shaking violently as it fell. Through the window, Doyun could see land approaching fast. "I can land us," he said, taking the controls. "I know these mountains." With all his old skill, Doyun guided the failing ship toward a valley. Trees rushed up to meet them. The ship hit ground, skidding through the forest, until it finally stopped at the edge of a lake. When Doyun opened his eyes, the cabin was dark. Something wet trickled down his face. Blood. He looked around for Taha and found her helping her injured crew. "Are you hurt?" he asked her. "I am fine," she said, "but we must leave quickly. The Vorex will send ground forces to find us." They helped the injured crew out of the ship. The pilot was the worst, with severe burns on his arms. Commander Kuro carried him. "Where are we?" Taha asked, looking at the mountains around them. Doyun smiled despite the pain. "About 10 miles from my cabin. We have come full circle." They started walking through the forest. Taha helped Doyun, who had hurt his shoulder in the crash. "Those Vorex ships were waiting for us," Doyun said. "How did they know we would be traveling to Earth?" Taha's face darkened. "They must have spies somewhere, either among my people or yours." After an hour of walking, they stopped to rest. The pilot's condition was getting worse. "He needs better medical care than we can give here," Taha said sadly. She opened a hidden compartment in her armor and took out a small crystal. It glowed with soft blue light, much like the one she had given Doyun years ago. "What is that?" Doyun asked. "Our greatest secret," Taha said quietly. "The heart of Terry technology." She placed the crystal on the pilot's chest. The blue light spread over his body, and his breathing became steadier. "This crystal can heal any wound, cure any disease," she explained. "It can even extend life by hundreds of years." Doyun stared in amazement. "This is why the Vorex destroyed your world?" "For these crystals." "Yes, and why they will destroy Earth if we let them." Taha put the crystal away carefully. "I was going to offer this technology to humans after we defeated the Vorex together. But I kept it secret until now because you feared humans would want it too much," Doyun finished. "That we might become like the Vorex." Taha nodded sadly. "Power can change people. I needed to know humans would ally with us for the right reasons, not just for our technology." A sound from above made them all look up. Earth ships were flying overhead, searching. "We need to contact them," Doyun said. "Tell them what happened." Taha looked unsure. What if there are spies among them too? What if they take our technology by force? "Not all humans are the same," Doyun reminded her. "Just as you are not like other aliens I have met, we must trust someone." Taha thought for a moment, then nodded. "You are right. We cannot win this war alone." She took out another device and activated it. A bright blue light shot into the sky, signaling their location. "I am putting my people's future in human hands," she said softly, "because you once put a child's life in yours." As the Earth ships turned toward their signal, Do-hyun took Taha's hand. "I will not let you regret that choice," he promised. The sound of ships landing echoed through the forest. Their fate, and the fate of both their species, would soon be decided. 3 days was not much time to prepare for war. The Earth Alliance called all its ships back to defend the home planet. Queen Taha's royal vessel became the command center where human and Terry leaders worked together on battle plans. Do-hyun found himself in the middle of it all. Though he was not a high-ranking military officer, both sides trusted him. The Terry respected him as the Queen's friend, and the humans saw him as one of their own. "The Voreks will attack in waves," Commander Kuro explained, pointing to the battle map. "First small ships to test our defenses, then larger ones." Admiral Lee, the head of Earth's fleet, nodded. "We should position our ships in a double ring around Earth. Your faster Terry vessels on the outside, our heavier battleships inside." Queen Taha studied the map. "The Voreks fear our crystal technology. They will target my royal ship first, thinking we keep the crystals here. Then we use that," Do-hyun suggested. "Make your ship the bait to draw them in, while hiding our strongest weapons elsewhere." The plan took shape. Terry engineers worked day and night to equip key human ships with crystal shields. Human weapons experts helped strengthen Terry vessels. On the 3rd day, as the Voreks fleet entered the solar system, Earth and Terry ships took their positions. Do-hyun stood on the bridge of Queen Taha's royal ship. Through the large viewing window, he could see hundreds of ships, both human and Terry, floating in space. Behind them, Earth looked small and fragile. "Are you afraid?" he asked Taha. "Yes," she admitted, "but not of dying. I fear failing both our peoples." "We have done all we can," Do-hyun said. "Now we fight." The first Voreks ships appeared as black dots against the stars. Then more came, and more, until the sky seemed full of them. They were shaped like sharp blades, their hulls black as night. "They have more ships than we expected," Admiral Lee's voice said over the communication system. "At least twice as many." Taha's face showed no fear. "Begin the defense as planned. All ships hold position." The Voreks attacked without warning or message. Their smaller ships shot forward, firing energy weapons at the Terry vessels. Space lit up with explosions and weapons fire. "They are targeting your ship, as we predicted," Do-hyun said, watching the battle map. Taha nodded. "Bring us forward slightly. Let them think they can reach us." The royal ship moved ahead of the others. Immediately, more Voreks ships turned toward them. "Now," Taha ordered. Hidden Terry ships uncloaked on both sides of the Voreks formation, catching them by surprise. Human battleships fired their new crystal-enhanced weapons. Several Voreks ships exploded. But the Voreks kept coming. For every ship destroyed, 3 more took its place. They pushed through the outer defense ring, heading for Earth. "We need to stop their command ship," Taha said, pointing to a massive black vessel at the back of the Voreks fleet. "If it falls, the others will be confused." "It's too well protected," Commander Kuro argued. "We cannot reach it." Do-hyun studied the battle map carefully. Then he saw something. "Here," he said, pointing to a gap in the Voreks formation. "Every 8 minutes, they rotate their defensive pattern. There's a 3-second window when this area is exposed." Taha looked where he pointed. "You're right. But we would need perfect timing to slip through. And someone would need to fly straight into their formation," Admiral Lee added over the comm. "It would be a suicide mission." "Not with the right ship," Do-hyun said. He turned to Taha. "The small scout vessel in your hangar. It has crystal shielding, right?" "Yes," Taha said slowly, understanding his plan. "But who would fly it?" "I would," Do-hyun said simply. "I was a pilot once. A good one." Taiha's silver eyes widened. No, it's too dangerous. It's our only chance, Doyan insisted. I know the Vortex patterns now. I can time it perfectly. More explosions rocked the ship. On the battle map, several human and Terry vessels disappeared as they were destroyed. We're running out of time, Commander Kuro warned. After a long moment, Taiha nodded. Prepare the scout ship, but I'm coming with you. My queen, you cannot. Kuro protested. I must, Taiha said firmly. The ship needs Terry hands to control the crystal systems. She looked at Doyan. Besides, we started this journey together. We will finish it together. They raced to the hangar bay. The scout ship was small but fast, with the strongest crystal shields. Once we're through their line, we'll have one shot at their command ship, Doyan explained as they boarded. We need to hit the main power core. I know where it is, Taiha said. The Vortex build all their ships the same way. They launched from the royal vessel, flying straight toward the enemy fleet. Doyan piloted while Taiha controlled the weapons and shields. All around them, the battle rage. Earth ships fought bravely, but they were outnumbered. 30 seconds to the gap, Doyan said, watching the Vortex ships rotate. Shields at maximum, Taiha replied. The moment came. Doyan pushed the ship forward at full speed. They shot through the narrow gap between Vortex vessels, alarms blaring as enemy weapons fire grazed their shields. We're through, Doyan shouted. Ahead loomed the massive Vortex command ship. It turned its weapons toward them, but they were too close, too fast. There, Taiha pointed to a spot near the bottom of the huge ship. That's the power core. Doyan aimed their ship directly at it. Fire everything we have. Taiha activated all weapons. The scout ship shuddered as it released its full power. Beams of blue light shot forward, enhanced by crystal energy. The Vortex command ship shields failed. The beams hit the power core directly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the massive ship began to break apart from the inside. Explosions rippled across its hull. Pull up, Taiha shouted. Get us out of here. Doyan turned the ship sharply, flying away from the exploding command vessel. A massive shock wave caught them, sending their small ship spinning through space. Shields failing, Taiha called out as warning lights flashed all around them. Doyan fought to control their damaged ship. Through the window, he could see the Vortex fleet falling into chaos. Without their command ship, they were confused, shooting in all directions. It worked, he said with a tired smile. They're breaking formation. The human and Terry ships pressed their advantage, attacking the disorganized Vortex fleet. One by one, the black ships were destroyed or flooded. On their small, damaged scout ship, Doyan and Taiha watched as the battle turned. They had done it. Together, they had saved Earth. We're being hailed, Taiha said as their communication system crackled to life. Admiral Lee's voice came through. Queen Taiha, Doyan Kim, do you copy? Your attack was successful. The Vortex are retreating. We copy, Taiha replied. Our ship is damaged, but we are alive. Rescue vessels are on the way, the Admiral said. You've done the impossible today. 3 months later, Doyan stood on a hillside overlooking New Seoul. The city had changed. New buildings with Terry design rose among the human structures. In the harbor, ships from both worlds sat side by side. Queen Taiha walked up to join him, wearing simpler clothes than her royal outfit. With the Vortex defeated, she had stayed on Earth to help build the new alliance between their peoples. The Council has approved the joint colony, she told him. Humans and Terry will build it together on the 4th planet. What will they call it? Doyan asked. New Beginning, Taiha said with a smile. And they want us both to lead it. Doyan looked surprised. Me? I'm just an old pilot. You are the bridge between our worlds, Taiha said. The man who saved a child and then helped that child save Earth. She took his hand. Will you accept? Do-hyun looked out over the city where humans and Terry now walked together. In the sky above, ships from both worlds patrol together, guarding against any future threat. "Yes," he said, "a new beginning sounds good." Taiha smiled, her silver eyes bright in the setting sun. She took the glowing crystal from around her neck and placed it in his hand. 20 years ago, one human saved a child, she said softly. Today, that child returned to save humanity. This is how galaxies change, one act of kindness at a time. Together, they watched the sun set on Earth and rise on a new era for both their peoples.